Hi, we're live.
And how much of that did you all hear? Because boy,
I
I
don't know.
I heard it all.
Da da dun dun dun. Da 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 da. Da da dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
We're back here again,
Dun,
Stuart.
da, 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 dun, 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 dun. We are da 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 to talk about the Mandalorian.
Yes, or Kim's Convenience, the Star Wars special.
Yes, from Toronto.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
yeah, and Dave Filoni was the other X-wing pilot too.
again, because he was in the last
Yeah,
he was in the last season, so he's now canonical two times in a row. I'll tell you the brief story about Kim's Convenience, because that's what we're all here for. Is that I was watching that on the plane from you to Rob or something along those lines, like one of those in between, or the other way around, or maybe yeah. And I was scrolling through and I found something. It was two episodes, and I was like, "Oh, this is a great show." And then I watched both episodes on the plane. I was like, "This is really good." And then didn't think about it for like 3 years, and I was like, "What the hell was that show?" And I had no idea. So I had to keep searching like keywords until I found it, and I binged all of it, and it was great.
yeah, yeah.
Surprisingly good show. And it was like a
Yes.
stage play. Like it was a very good history of why and how. Yeah, good show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, what's Kim's
Well,
Convenience? Says Trekyards.
we'll review every episode.
Well,
Convenience yards.
speaking of, mate, we have to review the Star Wars Holiday Special Lego. That trailer was
Yeah,
incredible.
comes out November 17th,
That
Life Day.
that was an incredible trailer. That was the best. That's probably the best Star Wars we've had in 20 years. Because that was brilliant. At least for me, anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, I was happy to see it. I don't know if it's the best Star Wars we've seen in 20 years,
But
but
it Ravens Palpatine. Like, it's the sort of thing we would make. But they can do it,
well,
and all the people are really
well,
voicing it. Or the main three are voicing it. So
maybe in December or even November. I don't know. We'll review that one and we'll review the original holiday special,
back
and
to
they'll both be
back.
drunk. Sure, they'll both be drunk ones, so that'll be fine. I want to do it after Mandalorian and Discovery are done, though, so we have a bit of a. I don't want to, shoehorn them in
Yes.
there because it's just like, god damn. Anyway,
On Christmas Day, we'll be live. Our families will be off to the side. You'll hear carol music in the background while we talk to you guys, our four people, because you're all also be with you. Yeah, anyway.
yeah,
Yes,
we're
I was.
yelling at people off camera. No, I don't want the gift now. I'm busy.
No eggnog. I need to see crackers, just like a cracker and one turkey leg, or just like little. But the secret is, Stuart, we pre-recorded it 3 weeks earlier, and it's all an elaborate joke. All of it was staged. Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
there you go.
Well, uh, welcome back, guys. We're going to be talking about Chapter 10
Yes.
of The Mandalorian called The Passenger today. We're going to be, I don't know if there's much to really discuss, um, but we'll have a discussion. If you guys want to super chat and put in your thoughts, let us know what you thought about this episode, any theories, any background knowledge that we don't know. Please be sure to fill us in. Super chats are a great way to do so. So,
I mean, it is an episode of the new Star Wars show that everyone liked last year, so you better have some thoughts and opinions. That's why we are here. So yeah, I will jump into posting it and hopefully see you in a minute.
all right. So he's going to go post that. And like I said, guys, super chats are a great way to support the channel. We've already got one super chat in, which is fantastic. So we can get a few more. That'd be awesome. I'd love to hear your thoughts, theories. And like I said, any lore about the Star Wars universe that might be in this episode that we don't cover or don't get to. Gotta admit, we don't know Star Wars as well as we know Star Trek, but we do love talking about it nonetheless. And this will be a fun little opportunity to do so. So, like I said, if you guys can chime in with a super chat, that'd be great. You can also join the channel, a bunch of different ranks there that you can join at. That's a good way to support the channel as well, because we do all this content for you for free, and we do really enjoy doing it. So just to be able to continue to do it, if we can get some support, that'd be fantastic, guys. I'd like to thank everybody that came to my first reaction review last night. That was a fun little discussion. It was about 2 hours long, and I got kind of ranty at times, but not necessarily about The Mandalorian. Probably talked about The Mandalorian for about an hour of that 2 hours. So if you want to go back and check that out and have some fun that way, please consider doing that as well. All this stuff helps. Hitting the like button helps. We have 62 people here with 37 likes. Just hitting that like button if you haven't already, hit it. That helps us out. It's simple. sharing the
Black-
video around, any of our videos around. We'd really appreciate it. Lots of great ways to support us, like we said. So if you can consider doing so, please, if you can, pause, consider doing so. Don't forget our merchandise. There is a Teespring store with some Trekyards merch. If you want to, actually, we should make some Star Wars Trekyards merch, actually, or Fleet Yards merch. We need more Fleet Yards merch for sure. But if you want to check out the Teespring store, you can do so. It's down in the description below. And the list of Jericho is helping us with our lore. The ships that chased him are called Xings? X-Wings? It's very odd. Yes.
I bet.
Guns. Hey. So I asked people if we missed any bit of lore that we don't, if we missed something, to let us know. And they're letting us know in the chat already. Like, List Jericho says the ships that chased them are called X-Wings, Crosswings.
Eggs wings. So are they there to wing the eggs that are in the bowl thing? Are they just fighters just to take on eggs?
Maybe. Oh, and they're using guns.
No, they mean Batwing from Batman. No, wrong universe. Wrong universe.
Gotcha.
Batwing.
Yeah. The guns they use are called blasters. What? You're making this shit up. This must be EU stuff. Whatever.
I thought it was phasers. But that may be me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We don't know Star Wars as well as Star Trek, so.
Well. But yes, hopefully, guys, we'll get 100 people at least. Liking at least $100 super chats. If you can put in 5s, 10s, 15s, it'd be great. Put in your thoughts, comments, whatever. As Stuart said. But yeah, Stuart, so what do you think of episode 10, chapter 10, Mandalorian? And in this respect, how it links the grander universe of Mandalorian?
This one was very much a one and done side quest, and honestly, this could have been a short Wars. You know how we have short Trek. This could have been done in like 15-20 minutes. This whole adventure. This was very much a not anything happens adventure, and definitely can be just taken out of the whole grand scheme of the Mandalorian, probably as not really being important. But it was still a fun little quest, and there's some funny moments for sure. So I really enjoyed it entertainment wise. But as far as contributing to the lore or the story of the Mandalorian, it's just kind of like a meh episode. But it's one of those episodic things. It definitely, you don't need to know what the hell is going on, really. It's very self-contained, and I appreciate that. So, it was, the enjoyment factor was definitely there for me. So I really dug it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones that it's a roller coaster ride, but one that you've done once. You've done it once, you don't need to go back.
Yeah.
As you're sort of hinting at, if you were to summarize this, it'd be a sentence, and in watching it, it's a sentence. Yeah, I also had the same feeling walking out. It's like a 15-minute short, 20-minute short, padded to an hour. Not to say that it's actually padded. It's just it's steps done slowly, which is Mandalorian style, which is fine normally, and that's why it's still enjoyable to watch. But there's a lack of anything important. Now, obviously, it may lead to be important, but you've got to wonder, this show, I'm sure, has got a bigger budget this year, more creative power, more creative control as a team. This isn't we have to make a filler episode. No. This is obviously super intentional. So I'm wondering why this episode was made then. Because it's a ride, but normally you'd need something big with Baby Yoda, Boba Fett, Mandalorian himself, or the Republic or Empire, and then maybe down the line linking with the passenger or the X-Wings perhaps. But it felt very standalone. This could easily be season 0, episode 0, like before everything. Like it's completely devoid,
Well, I can see it being important later. There's a lot that's set up in this, as far like the Razor Crest being trashed, the Baby Yoda eating the eggs. I guess, I don't know. The X-Wing pilots letting him off. They knew that he was part of that heist in the first season, and he tried to save the one guy's life, and he locked up the other 3. So I mean, there's a lot in here that's important information-wise, I guess.
But it's all just carrying things forward. There's none of it's a step itself.
Yes, but it could pay off later. Like this could be really important next episode or the episode after kind of thing, and we don't know where it fits yet. But if it is super important, the way they did it, I think, is great because if it turns out to be important, something in this episode be really important, and the fact that it still feels like a standalone thing, I think that's well done storytelling, actually.
Well,
So
yeah, I'm wondering if one thing this episode is meant to show is kind of do a soft reset for the Mandalorian character himself, in that he felt, to me anyway, far more nurtury in this one. Like the shell was much softer this week, so maybe there's to try and because you can't assume that everyone's watched all episodes. You can't assume everyone knows everything. So this episode maybe is more of a case of, okay, while he is a badass, he wants to support people. And so this episode, because it almost felt out of character how much he was doing to be good.
Yeah.
Slightly. So maybe that's important.
Yeah. That being said, he starts off by killing somebody. A little Jawa.
Well, I mean, massive internal injuries anyway. Let's not say kill.
Oh, I think he's dead. He got what he deserved. Don't get me wrong. I was like, kill that bastard. So.
And it's annoying because the way it starts off, I was like, I think I bet with you, we're going to start on Tatooine and we're going to get Boba Fett in it. We'll actually play off, and the fact they leave instantly on a non-mission is very odd. And I even thought the passenger would be Boba Fett. I thought we were going to be forced to have them both in the same. I thought he was going to take Boba Fett to a planet, reveal to him when he got there, I'm actually the Mandalorian, because he wouldn't know off the top of his head. I guess he would. I guess he might know Mando's face because Boba. Maybe, but whatever. I thought it'd be quite a cool reveal. It's like they do this whole adventure together. It doesn't reveal, and at the end he's like, "Oh, Boba, it's my helmet." He's like, "What?" And now they've bonded based on, and then it's a frog. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Not Boba Fett. It's a frog.
Yeah, I mean, I expected something of Boba Fett in this. Hopefully he'll turn up later in the season, but the way it started out, I expected Boba Fett to be part of that team. It was kind of
or following him, or something. Slave One flies over, or at the very least, I was waiting for this moment because I had vaguely heard that Baby Yoda was a murderer this week, so I was waiting for the moment where, at the end, because they make a good they're going to die situation. I thought he was just going to force choke and kill all the spiders. I thought that would show, he can go dark side too. And the fact he didn't do anything, I thought was astounding, because he's been shown to do things. I know it's a deus ex of every situation he gets out of, but what's the point of having the character in this episode if he's not going to do anything except cause trouble? Like, the point of this show is meant to be the Baby Yoda character, but his, for all intents and purposes, pointless. It could be replaced with a dog with no mission. And just like last season, I think they did the same trick where give us this massive sting in episode 1 to make you watch more, and then let us down with a lack of story other times, even though you've got us invested on the baby and Boba Fett, and you don't want to progress the baby story or Fett story. It's like, well, I mean, but that's why we're watching the show,
Yeah. Yep.
And I could enjoy everything in it when it is fully in the Star Wars universe, but having generic alien spiders that remind me of either Stargate or Lost in Space, that could be any sci-fi universe. Whereas when they fight Jawas, it's like, well, at least they're fighting Star Wars universe, as opposed to just, like, it can be a generic fight with Star Wars creatures versus a generic fight with generic aliens. You're not gaining anything specific from it. You're just watching. And it's bad, obviously, but...
Well, those spiders were based on original concept for one of the original movies, I believe, that was never used. Jarzia, though, throws in $5.
Yeah.
On this episode of The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda eats everyone's children, the little rascal. Also, I lost it when the jetpack heated the Yoda, or the Jawa. Yeah. And actually, the eggs he was eating weren't even fertilized yet. So they were just literally eggs.
Yeah.
It's like us eating chicken eggs. They're unfertilized. They're not
an
embryo yet. Yeah. And he doesn't chew them either. He swallows them. So people are wondering if he's actually storing them. And at the end of the episode, like, he was actually saved some of the eggs as a result of doing that, but that didn't come about. I also thought it'd be more of an issue, to be fair. I thought that she was going to notice that there's a few missing, but...
And Bill says, Camilla Calkins, I recently watched First Frontier. Well done, sir. Thank you. yes, I did 97 effects and designed the alien ship, so a lot of work on that. Could have also been better, but it had a small budget and they aren't professional filmmakers. But they're making a better version now. People have pointed out the problems.
Nice. Warrender Technical Solutions throws in £2. Mandalorian Monday, 50 likes. Good evening, everyone. Yes, we're at 52 likes now with 84 people watching, which is great. Guys, hit that like button if you haven't. Let's show our love for the Mandalorian.
And people are saying, though, the spiders appeared in Rebels.
Oh, probably.
And aren't affected by the Force, which is fine. But if you don't know that, you're not going to get brownie points. And obviously, that's to say,
and they would be affected by the Force if you crushed the cavern around them and collapsed it on them. They're going to be affected by that. So
yeah. Although, boy, that I've never seen this concept art, and that is a very, very good concept art from The Empire Strikes Back. Like, that is an incredibly good replica, and gross. But it's
basically just they look like octopus that use the feet like spider feet, and they have big teeth.
But the note is the Kryken were first invented by Star Wars artist Robert McCrory in his concept work for The Empire Strikes Back. These giant spiders were supposed to show up on Dagobah when Luke met Yoda, but also didn't happen. However, Dave Filoni eventually made the Kryana canon in his animated series Rebels when the crew encountered them on a planet Atollon. In that show, the Star Wars spiders are mostly invulnerable to laser blasts. Luckily for Mando, that wasn't the case here. Although Sabine managed to kill a few by shooting them in the eye. In the same plotline, a Karakan captured Rex, running a clone trooper who works for Rebellion. So yeah, okay, well, cool. They still felt generic in the context of the story. They could be anything. But
Fleetpaw Swiftback, $2.51. Sweet. Thank you, Fleetpaw. And guys, if you have anything to say about the episode, by all means, send us a super chat. We'd really appreciate it. But cool. So yeah, I mean, him getting kind of clotheslined at the beginning was a little bit rough. I'm glad he landed it though. With the help of the jetpack. Baby Yoda did a bit of a tumble.
Yeah.
But overall, they start firing at him right away, and I love how he kind of gets out of the situation. He goes to shoot the other guy, gets his blaster pulled, still hurts him. So the other guy pulls out a gun, and then he uses his lasso thing and like knocks the two people. It was a really well done fight scene, actually. And then I thought when he said there's a lot here to choose from, take your pick. They focused on the Boba Fett helmet, so I assumed the little guy was going to go after the Mandalorian armor, and then Boba Fett was going to come out from behind a rock and blast him or something.
Yes, it's a weird scene that's like implying so many things and doesn't do any of them. It's odd.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. But then the whole running away with the jetpack, and then like just control the jetpack, and oh yeah, okay, there you go, did it, and launches it up, and that was really good. And then it lands, zoom, thunk. It was really well done.
It was an unusual scene for him because even though he just fought 1 billion people last episode, he feels almost overwhelmed here, which is odd.
Yeah.
But I like the scenery. I like the way it's shot. The jetpack's funny. Although I was waiting for this creature to be revealed to be an Ewok, because I thought the language was Ewokian, not Jawa, because Jawa was quite specific. I was like, that's not a Jawa. So I thought, what a fun reveal if it was an Ewok. You'd be like, wait, what? Because they wanted to, left turn. It's like, you're an Ewok, and then like stabs him. And like, you're a shitty Ewok. Kicks him or something. You could do more with it. I thought. But it's like, why would he? I don't understand the situation. Like, yes, this knife. Okay, you run away with it. He's just gonna pick up his blaster and murder him. Like, why does he think he's gonna get away with it? He's lost his posse. Move on. And the question is, these assassins all had speeder bikes. Why didn't the Mandalorian just steal one of their speeder bikes rather than walk across the Dune Sea?
Did they though? Because we didn't see them, so we don't know exactly if they did. You assume they have some form of transportation nearby, but
I mean, you don't think they walked here from Mos Eisley and then randomly knew he was going to come here? I mean, this is a desert the size of a planet.
They could live out in the caves at this rocky outcrop here. They could live in this area.
You'd just still need a speeder to get for supplies. I doubt they have no transport. I mean, obviously this could be there, and if they had no transport, they wouldn't try and destroy the speeder. They would try and take him out. It just felt a bit silly. Like, this is obviously a specific group of mercenaries, and then just to walk feels like he's not Mandalorian is not smart in this episode. He's not playing the character as we know him. He's playing a slightly like for the plot. You know, it's like they wrote the plot without knowing what show they're in, and then said, "Oh well, he's gonna do these things." So it's a little bit jarring, but you know, whatever.
Ozzy Medeiros puts in $5.
Yeah.
Rebel leader Captain Foley. Can I get one
Yep.
ping for a superior commander? First Fleet Admiral Skeleton Hands. Okie dokie. One ping. Yes, you get a ping.
What does that mean? What?
That's later in the episode. The X-wings want him to send a ping.
Ah. Yes. Cool. But I did like the visuals of him walking though, because that must have sucked. I mean, that probably was like 80, 100, 200 miles. I mean, that would take days. That sucks.
Oh, you don't know how far it was. You could have been just over the horizon, not that long. Yeah, but we don't really know.
But thank God he's in full. Anyone else would die of the heat, whereas he's got a full climate-controlled suit. Well, Baby Yoda.
So anyway, otherwise he stinks.
Yeah, but why didn't he just use his jetpacks? He has 2 working jetpacks.
Because somebody mentioned that last night as well. I would assume it's because he didn't want to make a scene coming into Mos Eisley, and a flying man on a jetpack would draw a lot of attention. So I have no issue with him walking into town, kind of like not being too conspicuous.
I mean, although there's only one Mandalorian in the galaxy everyone knows, so a Mandalorian walking to town is very conspicuous. Like, he's going to draw all the attention anyway. And he could have just rocketed from this cropping to halfway and saved himself 6 hours. You know?
Maybe he did. We didn't see that part.
Hey, then he should have shown us that part. Would have been better. It just feels, again, disconnected from what he would do. He doesn't seem like a good bounty hunter. Or he just seems like a guy. He's not just a guy. It's just a bit weird, especially after last week where he kicks all the ass. But yeah, whatever. They're allowed to change characters as they go, I
Scott
guess.
too. Maybe too much weight to carry with the jetpack. I would totally buy that as well.
Yeah, sure. But they go to the bar. They chat to Spider Guy, which I thought was quite a good prosthetic. And there's the cantina, but shot differently at least this time. So you get to see the cantina, and it's quite a good scene. Bit of a silly scene, but quite a good scene. And he does
Dr. Mandible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he covers his round, and she wins. She wins the money. And,
a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
She just wins a small fortune of him.
And apparently, he knows, this other guy knows where there's some Mandalorians. He'll send somebody that needs some assistance and knows where Mandalorians are to the ship later. So, how convenient. Everyone knows where there's Mandalorians except for the Mandalorian.
I mean, it obviously feels like they're lying. Like,
Yeah.
The way it's played, it's just like, oh yeah, we know where Mandalorian is, so you should give our friend a lift. Like, I don't believe them, you know? I don't. Yeah. That's why I thought it was gonna be just Boba, and it's like, yeah. So I didn't buy this. It seemed too jovial and off kilter. And she didn't even mention a speeder. It's like, where's my speeder? It broke. It's like that was like, these things are expensive.
Well, he brought part of it. He's got the handlebars over his shoulder. So
see, where's my speeder? Basically, I think this episode is worse written overall. It's just not as well thought. Maybe they rushed this one because they had to get to better episodes. Because overall, it's just a few levels down in the writing totem pole.
I would say maybe, yeah. The finer details aren't there for sure.
Yeah.
But then we get the most Star Wars scene in anything Star Wars. A Treadwell droid roasting a piece of meat from an engine with a pit droid, Baby Yoda, a Mandalorian, and it's just such a Star Wars scene. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
I like those droids.
Yeah.
I guess he did bring one thing of meat because he knew that she liked the meat. I was convinced that he didn't actually bring the meat. I was like, where did he get that from? But I guess he did bring a bag with it. This is like, really? Okay. That's weird. Weird thing to do, but okay. But I do like her line though. Right, you have to take someone somewhere, and I trust with my life. And then later on, I just met her 5 minutes ago. I thought that was great. Like, this character, I thought, is still impressing me as a better Jet Reno. Just as silly, but better written, and plays the silliness better, I think. For me, anyway.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite parts of this is where she's like, yeah, I can vouch for her. Then the frog lady does that, like, no lines at all. And the translation, or it's her spawn. She needs her eggs fertilized by the equinox, or her line will end. If you jump into hyperspace, they'll die. She said her husband has settled on the estuary moon of Trask in the system of the gas giant Kolibin, Iben. And he's like, she said all that. I paraphrase, which means she cut it down. I'm like, that made me laugh out loud because that was hilarious. But yeah, the whole I'll vouch for her with my life, and I just met her kind of thing is like, really? Damn.
But she's a good judge of character, okay? Oh, to be fair,
True.
It's a great sub story. It really is, especially when because they don't quite go into the detail of this is like the last chance of the race of their line. Like this is more than just her line; it's more for the entire race. This is more important than they let on. But since Mandalorians aren't known to be like the best guys, you don't want to tell them that this might be the best way of repopulating half your species. Let's not let them know it's that important, otherwise they might charge more, etc. So now knowing that in retrospect, it's like, oh yeah, I can see why she's like, yeah, just trust her. This is a good mission. But I do quite like it. I like the way it's shot as well. I wonder who, because I doubt Pedro's in the suit. He almost never is. I wonder who was doing the suit this day because he's a bit more moving. I felt it was more flexible. He's like a bit more motiony, Because like 8 out of 10 is a stunt guy because they don't need him 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So yeah, he's basically sets a course and says, keep seat belted in because sublight is kind of sketchy these days.
He's an Uber driver now.
Between pilots and warlords, yeah. And then he goes and has a little nap, finds Baby Yoda eating one of the eggs, and he's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be much more of an issue later, like when she realized that some of the eggs were gone. But not so much, so that's fine.
The fact that she never realizes it is bizarre. It does stand out like a sore thumb. Yeah. I can imagine he wouldn't have counted them, but you would notice 10.
A mother would have.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking sublight is extremely slow, and Star Wars is actually a big universe. I wish they'd said that that'll take me 4 weeks. I think it's because it's not in the same system because Tatooine is that's the point.
The next sector over.
That's a long way. Like that's not close.
Yeah.
The way it's shown is like it's one sleep away. It's like no, it's not. This is why you hyperspace, and you're also in the middle of nowhere. Even it's a bit.
Well,
weird.
That being said, I mean his course is going around stars, so he could be like using them to like slingshot a little faster. I don't know.
I mean, no one does sublights. Then maybe went like
got a very out of the way course.
That's a really good point. Yeah, but yeah. But it does seem odd though. There's a lack of there's a disconnect there, and also leaving the creature in the bridge seems odd. It's like, oh yeah, don't touch any of my sensitive controls. I was thinking, she's gonna steal the ship. Clearly, it's like,
yep, that's exactly what I thought as soon as he left because she kind of had that like a look on her face, like, huh?
Yeah, not to think bad of her, but I assumed the reveal would be, oh no, she needs to go to a different planet for a slightly different reason. But no, it was weird. But I liked though that they Baby Yoda and him sleep in the same like bit. I thought it was quite cute. It's like, no, you're my son. Get back to bed. I haven't washed your robe in 6 weeks. Get back to bed. Your one robe.
Yeah.
What do you think about
then he gets
actually eating the things? Like, what was your initial like reaction to that? Did you have a visceral reaction
to them sleeping in the same compartment?
No, eating the eggs.
Oh. I thought it was a little bit shocking, but at the same time, it wasn't like offensive to me. Like, oh, I just assumed it's going to lead to something later. Like she's going to get really pissed off that some of the eggs are missing.
Yeah.
And people had made the point that I didn't notice that he didn't chew them. He just and they're gone. Like they could be regurgitated later or something. But he's a growing boy. He needs all that protein.
He's growing teen. In terms of but I mean it is a common thread though. This creature just eats things whole. Because if you recall, one moment he ate an entire living like bug, and everyone's like, "Yeah, the kids on the planet." So it's totally in character. You definitely get there's a funny little cut later on where he's giving emergency rations, and just like you can tell his little arbitrary face like, "Ew."
Well, it's the whole it's the whole Yoda. How you get so big eating food of this kind?
Hmm.
It's the same metal little box that he's holding with the rations. It's
Is it?
perfect. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't notice that.
yeah.
That's cool.
It's a little bit smaller box, but it's the same kind
Yeah.
of metal box. So yeah.
But I just viscerally was like, oh, come on, dude, not cool. Like, not cool. You know.
Yeah, definitely not. But I think it's alerted that there's something going on, and there's two X-wings pull up, which is
Beautiful
pretty
effects.
great.
Beautiful
Yeah,
effects.
and the whole, you don't have a transponder. He's like, it's all right. I'm pre-Empire surplus. I don't need it. Actually, you do now because this sector is being run by the new Republic jurisdiction. So he's like, all right. Well, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. So I'll get right on that.
Awkward pause. Awkward pause.
And they're like,
Awkward
not a
pause.
problem. Yeah, not a problem. Safe travels. May the force be with you. And I love it. They finally did what I've done all these years, and also with you.
Yeah.
And then just one more thing, we're gonna need you to send us a ping. We're sweeping for Imperial holdouts. So he's like, if I see any, I'll let you know. But that stuff isn't online. My hardware is not online for that. We can wait. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. Well, that's too bad because we got to make sure you're not Imperial. So you're gonna have to follow us to the outpost at Adelphi, and we'll run your tabs there. He goes, oh, wait, there it is, transmitting now. And then the X-wing pilot's like, yo, dude, you want to go over to channel 2? And just quiet and all position. That was so awesome. It's like, oh, shit.
Put it this way, you've never seen a police stop in the Star Wars universe. That's exactly like you think it'd be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
But then they ask if he's been anywhere near the correctional transport on Bothan 5.
Yeah.
Or Bothan 5, so.
Problem is, it was a bit too long, and because you can't see his face, it did have a lack of tension for me. Because they never cut to the guys in the cockpits. It was just looking at a non-expressive face, listening to not very expressive. Like, I wish they'd cut to the pilots. That would have made all the difference to me. Like, see their vibe. I think it was really missing that.
I would have been fine with that, but I really liked the way it was done as from the Mandalorian's point.
Yeah.
And just the quiet and the we'll wait. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. So.
I guess it just felt flat. Like it didn't play flat, but it had a certain lack of energy, which it obviously was trying to. But it's like it could have been more interesting. And also, what was the ping meant to mean? I didn't understand that from the context of like, what does that mean in this context?
Well, it's like hunt for Red October. Send one ping only to let them know that you're friendly or whatever. The case I assume was just the tabs that they were going to run on the identification for the ship. So they were waiting for that. Even though he doesn't have a transponder, he can still ping your ID and send it to them. And he said that his software was offline. They were waiting for it. We'll wait because they needed to know if he was Imperial or not. So that's what it is. It's just it's an ID tag essentially.
So they couldn't just read the ship without that, then, without him actually sending something.
That's what the transponder is for, like in a plane. If you have it flying a plane, you need a transponder saying your flight number, where all the information. So if you don't have that, you need to.
So you're saying,
let them know another way.
They want sci-fi space travel, but they can't scan each other. And in fact, earlier on, I was going to mention it, but the Mandalorian graphic looked really 1970s. No, I really think they should have rebooted that to one with hologram. I think they should have had floating holograms that, like, 3D and the Mandalorian does this, even though it's set right over Return of the Jedi. Because you know what? I don't think audiences accept a graph with a line that goes, I think no one's going to accept that's the future, even though this is the past.
Yeah. Yeah, like later when the X-Wings are following him into the trench and you see, like, the cavern, and the old 1970s display that Luke had on his, but with the cavern and stuff, it should have been updated because it doesn't translate to today's modern effects. It doesn't look good.
Doesn't look sci-fi, And yet, so this is a sad thing though. But the thing is, we got lower decks obviously. But like, look, these X-Wings are perfect. Everything here is perfect. Because of course it would be. They're Star Wars fans. They're gonna make sure it's perfect. It's so frustrating. So frustrating because those lines look shitty, but they look like Star Wars. That's the point.
And of course, we're being sarcastic here, guys. We think it
Yes.
looks great. It's how it should be done.
Yeah.
How Star Trek should look as well.
Crazy.
Jarzia, though, $2. Get that boy some caviar so he leaves.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. Purely caviar. Is it any different?
Probably really good.
No.
Probably really good.
Yeah, not really. That's good. Great point.
Jeff Jacobs, $5. Just stopping in to hit like and support Trekyards. Loving the Mandalorian. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much, Jeff. Good. Which is awesome. We have 70 likes, so it's not so awesome. We can hit 85 likes, let's say. Let's get another 15 at least. We can maybe hit 100, but let's aim for 85.
Yeah. And yeah, that S-foil bit was priceless. Because Star Wars fans
when the
know.
lights come on.
Yeah. Because we know. Like, a new fan wouldn't understand that. They could probably get some sense of context, but we know it's like, oh. And then...
And Scott...
Oh, yeah.
Scott Purdy puts in £2. The X-Wings need to be 50% bigger.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. They need to have three seats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And an escape pod. And hyperspace. And shields. And hyperspace looks now like floating stars. Transwarp. I mean, like warp. I gotta say, this dog fight through the clouds is absolutely incredible looking. It is. I mean, it's the same movie house as doing all the other movies, but it is absolutely beautiful. It looks so real. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
And when they said his ship won't be able to take this atmosphere, I expected like a gas giant kind of atmosphere that would like crush things, but it's just a regular atmosphere. Like I didn't understand the problem there.
My assumption is, I mean, if they have to ping the ship, they don't know what he's done to it though. So the standard version can't. But the point is, he's upgraded his ship beyond wherever it could go. That's my assumption. Like he uses the ship's own assumptions. Yeah. But it is, yeah, you are right. It's a bit odd. It's like we gotta get him, and then he does one easy maneuver, and they lose him. It's like, oh, it's a bit easy, but it looks so good, you know?
Yeah, the whole going up and then just dropping, and then going through the cavern. And I gotta admit, I really liked that's one thing I was going to point out is the display on the X-Wing is exactly 100% legit, like it should be from Star Wars. Instead of the Death Star trench, it's the actual cavern. You can see the different,
let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Because it only comes up for a half a second. Where is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I made sure to get one of it. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah. But see, come on. Are you really telling me a sci-fi future ship would have literally a white arrow? Yes,
it's asteroids. That's the asteroids ship from the game Asteroids.
It just bugs me so much, you know. But it's like they didn't tell him at Discovery to basically just fight for it and say no, foot's going down, like Lower Decks did, and we got TOS Bird of Prey. It looked incredible. Like he put his foot down and he got it. Like that's it, and it holds up, you know.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this canyon, I did groan a little bit. Meant it's like, really, we're doing a trench run. Really, like, it looks nice, but it does feel like we're just doing a trench run, and a trench run combined with Voyager Timeless, because that crash is super close to Timeless. Like even when Voyager, even the mountain range is actually similar to Timeless. Like it's a really. I guarantee they might have like saw it and thought inspiration, because it is like, even though it's textured, it's like that looks like the Voyager crash, which is funny because they just had that crash again in Discovery and this did it better again. Like Discovery was way worse than this, and they were both on lockdown. Just saying, Discovery looked way worse.
Yeah.
But they crashed. The ship is damaged, but probably fine. And the X-Wings leave, so we're all fine. Oh. We're good. We're done. We're fine. Right?
Well, he actually wasn't that damaged. He actually did a nice skid, and he turned and then hit the thrust. So it slowed him down.
Gravimetric shields. Yeah.
Like he would have been able to take off no problem. Yeah. Except
Yep.
Falls into a cavern, and that causes all that damage. I didn't buy that, first of all. I can see sliding along the ice might have, opened up a hole or two in the hull, but I don't know.
I mean, I did find, while this looks beautiful, it's contrived. Like as soon as it fell down, I'm like, oh, are we gonna be stuck here, aren't we? oh.
Yeah.
Like, I lost the excitement factor of what could be, you know? Because I was kind of waiting for him to power up, leave, do something else, cool. And whilst it isn't a bad episode, like, it's not a very interesting episode. And the next, like, 15 minutes is the same scene, basically. Like, are we fine? No. Are we damaged? Yes. How damaged? Very. Are you okay? No. Yes. Eggs. Fine. Eaten? Yes. No. Go sleep. Okay. Bad. Bye. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's funny because you think of these scenes as a filmmaker. They just had a very expensive flight through the clouds, expensive, and then just film on standing interior sets, cheap. Because there's no CGI in these scenes at all. Everything's a physical prop. Like I love that way of using clever filming techniques. Kind of spend it when you have to, and then it's just it's a good sort of cheap. You build it. It's like the Firefly set, the Millennium Falcon. You build it really good, and then every time you use it, you save money, or you use it efficiently.
Yeah.
Oh, the ration kit. Yeah. That's cool. Has it got a sausage?
Yeah.
It does. Almost.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And he doesn't speak frog, so he doesn't know what the lady's trying to say, but she wants to keep her eggs warm, obviously. And he's like, we'll deal with it in the morning. And I love how she looks at the bounty hunter droid thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That was actually really well done. I mean, smart little froggy. She can understand standard,
yes, clearly,
but she can't speak it. And yeah, he doesn't understand frog.
I like that he tried to ask like Huttonese or these other things, even tried a few languages. Like, I can speak 7. Shit, fine. Although, I'm confused by this bit, because there's a lack of time context, and please do explain this to me. So he goes to sleep, and they get chased by the X-Wings. So he's been asleep for a while. So is the alien. They crash, and instantly, even though they have no warmth and very little power, and there's a hole in the hull, he says, rather than fixing the hull first, he goes to sleep again, even though clearly the alien is freezing and they haven't got any warmth. He
says he's going to wait till nightfall to assess the damage, which doesn't make any sense.
It's like, dude, you're not tired and you could freeze to death. I didn't understand at all. Like, he, again, seemed out of character.
Well, he could still be tired. He could have been asleep for literally half an hour when the alarm started going off. Because she was in the cockpit and the alarm was going off, and she didn't wake up until after he was already engaging with the pilots. Because she speaks up and they're like, what was that? Oh, nothing. Whatever is making a noise.
I mean, I guess they could be in the same system as Tatooine, but if Tatooine's a desert planet that needs water desperately, and you've got an ice planet in the same system, you would think they would just move ice to Tatooine and make it easy. So I doubt them. So they must be in the same system. But it's just like, why? Like, it feels so stupid. I was like, I know, I'll go to sleep. It's like, dude, just fix this one hole. Then it won't be freezing. I honestly thought the frog was going to die, because she puts the blanket over her eggs, and I thought she's going to die. He's like, oh no, I have to protect the eggs, I feel obligated, and then they end up being really sad because he gets the planet gives them. So I was just like, why is this happening? Like, are they going to disconnect here between the logic and the story? I loved the use of the bot, that was great, but just to get there was like, and we're going to pause the story. It's like, what? Why? No. Stop.
Technically, she might not have died. A lot of frogs can be frozen solid in the winter. And then thaw in the spring and fine. So that would have been fine too.
Well, that would have been cool actually. If he thinks she died, put her in the holding to take her back, then she wakes. That would have been great. But like I say, real disconnect. I thought with this, it wasn't a smart plot.
I never thought about that. I never considered that. But you're right. They just woken up. They did this little chase, and then it's like, fuck, we're going to go back to sleep. It's like, really?
Because it could be 5 minutes, or it could be. Cause I got the sense it was like 8 hours. It was like a full they traveled a long way. But that's the thing's up to interpretation. So I didn't. It's a weird sudden cut.
Yeah.
But the robot's great. I thought that was genius. I thought that was really right and satisfying. It's like, no, it's smart. This creature's smart.
She accessed its vocabulator so she could talk. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he's like, all right, fine, I'll go take a look at the ship. First she says, I thought Mandalorians kept their word. He's like, we'll be lucky to get out of here alive. And he goes, well, she said, it must be a story for children, the Mandalorian code, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, fine. And then walks out. This wasn't part of the deal. Da, da, da. Well, it kind of was. Your job is to get this person to their destination. So,
and protecting
it very much is part of the job.
Yeah, protecting her is part of the,
The Uber service.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure your passengers get there alive with their children.
Yeah.
So don't lead the
It
kids.
should go without saying that you protect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know I like this a lot. It was fun and yeah. And yes, fix the ship. I love the amount of damage and like the vibe. Like clearly, I like the way they obviously like they built part of the ship and then it's still a circle, but the ground looked amazing, the snow looked amazing. It was very effective. Yeah.
It even had leaking. I don't know if it was fuel or if it was just lubricant, but like green stuff was squirting out and getting on the snow.
But don't you just think, how are you gonna fix this? Like this thing is trashed again.
And I would be stopping that leak first thing. I don't know why he keeps walking around.
Yeah.
It's something important. It's either lubricant for the parts, you don't want it all over the sno, or it's fuel, in which case you kind of need that. So
or
that's one of the first things I'd be
fluid.
fixing. Yes, you got to you got to make sure the blinkers have enough fluid for them to work.
Always charged up. The thing about this scene though is that when you remember that he literally rebuilt his ship, having every piece stolen by Jawas, you understand this isn't as big. This isn't as big as it sounds. This guy can build a ship from nothing. So I like they reset that up. Of course he can fix it. It's not a problem. Although I do appreciate how shit it is at the end. Like that grounds it again. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, like that's what he should have been doing in this case right now, is making sure that the cockpit could be pressurized and getting out of there that way. So he's not going to be able to fix the ship as it is. So I don't know why this isn't more of it. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, the kid basically draws his attention to the fact that she took off, and
which I didn't get from it. I just thought there's something over there. And I thought the tracks
well,
were actually someone found, like someone walked to us, or there's an alien here. And I didn't think it was this, because I was like, well, there's obviously some creature here that's trying to get them.
Well, he didn't check inside the ship, but he might have off screen. I don't know. He assumes it's her. Okay. And people said, oh, Baby Yoda said his first words. Not really. It says a lot of times cooing, and then this part it actually says child speaks gibberish. Gibberish does not mean it's speaking a language. Gibberish means it's just talking baby talk, essentially. Yes. So,
yeah. But we get this fun little walk through, and I did quite like this as a reveal. It's like, yeah, okay, I get you. I like it. That's fun. I get it.
Hot spring.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's a smart creature, you know.
Yeah. He's like, I can't protect you out here when it gets dark, so we got to get these eggs. I know it's warm, but and then Yoda's gonna go grab one, little baby Yoda. And he's like, no. So, baby Yoda's still hungry, so he goes and checks out.
This is the Trill Pond.
Yeah, I guess it is a Trill Pond. There you go.
No, they got to a Trill. It's just the ice cap of Trill. They land on the other side of Trill.
Tenchi 2K7 $5. Even the Mandalorian dislikes escort missions. Oh, I do too. Yeah,
but he does them for the XP.
I hate you. You gotta stay close. You gotta stay within distance of them. Those are annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Fleet Pass Swiftback $2. Blinker fluid Sam, not headlight fluid. LOL. Well, they both work. Well,
headlight fluid was a specific joke to Red versus Blue. And apparently, she did say last week they said bring back dragon meat. Although since she didn't know they were fighting the creature, why would she have said that? Given that she didn't know they were fighting a crate dragon, but okay, they didn't know until they'd already got there.
Good point.
So
good point.
Odd. Now this bit, I got massive alien flashbacks. I was like, we're really doing aliens right now? Okay, interesting. I mean, did you think aliens?
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. I mean, afterwards, you kind of have to think that.
Because they go blip and they come out.
Yeah.
And they crawl. I mean, it's the most alien thing they've ever done.
Yeah. And one thing that I got to point out here that really... I love The Mandalorian, don't get me wrong. This is a great show. Well done. One thing that takes me out of it, though, now is how Baby Yoda moves when he walks. It looks so fake. When he's going through the snow, it doesn't look like he's walking. He's like being pulled or pushed along. It's one thing that I think they can improve. And later when he gets set back in the Razor Crest, he kind of runs and skitters, but it still looks not good
Well, it's when they try and
compared to the
move.
rest of the show.
It's when they try and move the miniature rather than CGI, because he did walk in the other season. You saw him. There's a CGI version, so they just thought,
Yeah,
we'll just move him.
yeah,
But you,
and that was perfect. Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, for the most part, it's so well done, but it's still a puppet. It can't walk, and they chose one way, and it just doesn't look as real, even though it is real, and it was cheaper to do. But for me, honestly, I didn't like this scene. I thought it was obnoxious and make me dislike the character. Like, not obviously drastically, but it's like, dude, you should know better, and I don't feel sympathy for you now in this episode, and you deserve to have always be killed. And I feel sorry for the spiders that got killed because Baby Yoda ate one. Like, that's horrible. Like,
well, that's the thing though. They didn't hatch and come out of their eggs because he ate one. There's no way that they're connected to the eggs are all connected together. It was just bad timing that they all started to hatch at the same moment.
So you say plot convenience rather than because he ate one in front of them.
Yes. What they're not looking out of their eggs going, oh, he ate Barry. Let's go get him.
Really? Like, that's what you thought?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because they're not. It's not like a planned attack. Like, oh, one of us has been eaten. Let's hatch now. No, you hatch when you're ready to hatch.
Well, no, but I got the sense because I actually watched this with my dad, and he was pointing out that all species have got to eat stuff, and how do this many creatures eat? So I was assuming that these cocoons are actually they're not eggs, they're cocoons that they make them when they have to hibernate or sleep, and so they can open and close them whenever. Because why would 50 all hatch within 5 seconds of each other, all perfectly formed, and then the mama come in? No, I assumed it was more like we haven't we're in our winter, we can't eat right now. We'll re-cocoon. He eats one, which triggers some survival instinct in them, and then the mum gets alerted and she wakes them all up, and they can re-cocoon wherever they want. So it was very much like a you fucker, we're gonna come after you. Because I know it makes no difference practically, but I didn't think they literally hatched. I just thought they came out of their cocoons. Because
considering they're all the same size, though, I don't buy that they're cocoons. Because later we see different spiders of different sizes that come over the hill.
They're baby cocoons. I mean, they're the early
out of
stage.
the darkness.
Yeah, but why are they all open at the exact same moment? Like all of them, because surely hundreds of them would be not formed enough to.
See, that's the thing. If he had brushed against one of them, and then went and ate another one, and it started to move, and then because a lot of times the movement is what triggers it. Yeah. So when one hatches, it touches the other egg. That whatever, that would have been fine. Or even if after he ate it, you saw like a strand of like a webbing attached to it, and then all of a sudden you see the big mama, or even some of the smaller ones come out of the darkness first.
Oh, and then
kind of brush against. Yes, that would have worked a lot better than the way they did it, because it was just, yeah.
Well, it was very movie rather than clever. Or to follow on what you just said, what if he ate one, and then all of a sudden we see a thing move down, and maybe his face, and then its eyes open, and it's a spider that's on a string, and it looks at it, and it like goes, and then baby just walks away, and then they come out. But I also assume maybe that when it ate it, like it left a death pheromone, which then alerted them all. So just, but it's interesting how both took it differently.
It could be. I'd buy that.
Because it's such a graphic, like, eating one. And it didn't, that one...
And I'd even buy that all the eggs are connected under the snow. So when one gets eaten and pulled out, it would, trigger the ones near it, which would trigger the other ones. That's fine. But it's just not explained very well at all.
It wasn't. But when the big ones came, I thought that was a very well-filmed piece. It's like, that was... Oh, shit. And they're in a really bad situation because you understand the ship is open. Like, I was literally thinking, how can they possibly get out of this? I was very, very confused by this. What do you guys think?
UE48472.
There you go.
Puts in $5. How much CGI Baby Yoda should they use just for walking? No, I mean. I don't know the logistics of it, but I mean the walking one in season 1 looked a lot better than this one. This one just really took me out of it with the way it was moving through the snow. Just did not work for me.
I mean, the answer is how much do they have to when they have to? That's it. Like that's the only answer. When they should, when they could. No great thing. And if that improves it, then it improves it. Yeah.
Jarzia, $5. Eating that spider was straight up disgusting. Also loved when Frog Lady went into full frog mode. It worked a lot better than Baby Yoda walking. Yeah, where she was like,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
that was effective.
Absolutely. That was really good.
Yeah, it was.
And Warrender Technical Solutions throws in £2, 100 likes.
Yeah.
Thanks and good night. Yes, we just hit 100 likes with 119 of you here, which is awesome, guys. So thank you. If you haven't hit like, please hit like.
And we're at halfway through our super chat goal. I was a bit light today.
Yeah.
It's the Star Wars one, but if we can get another 50, that'd be great. So a few more fives, put your thoughts, and at the end, obviously, your final review. Oh, and yes, T-Berg says, I also did get flashbacks of when Kirk in 09 ran after the other guy. I very much those vibes, which is funny because that's trying to mimic Star Wars. This is Star Wars, and I got vibes of Star Trek. Funny how
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that scene at all, but yeah, now that you said it.
Yeah, but I did like this, and I liked how it smashes through. But I was just thinking, how can you possibly escape? I was very like, how are they going to resolve this? Because he can't shoot 500. Like, shit. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, he does a few little tricks. He throws his little bombs that can take out the big one. He fires up his flamethrower at one point. And,
very effective, yeah.
So he's using kind of all the tricks in his arsenal.
But he only has so many.
Yeah, exactly.
And the set looked great too, by the way, because it wasn't just the circle room; it was actually sets again, and I think it benefited from not just a circle room again. Yeah, just to call him out there, that was good.
Yeah. And then when he gets to the ship and he actually gets his arm webbed to the ship and he has to crush one with his hand, I'm like, oh shit, what's he gonna do now? Easily breaks the webbing off, which is fine. I just didn't expect it to be quite that easy. Yeah. But oh well, it was all right.
And I was thinking, why are you even going into the ship? There's no door. I was like, where are you going? Yes. What are you doing?
And then he sets Baby Yoda down. It kind of skitters away. And then all of a sudden you see him climbing the ladder. I was like, where the hell is Baby Yoda and this frog? Are they in the cockpit? Did they make it up there? Because you don't see them. You should had a shot of them climbing the ladder at least. Yeah. But then they're just in there, which it's fine. That's where you would naturally go. It's like the last place you can go. Baby Yoda actually could have gone in the little sleeping cubicle and closed the door as well. But it just wasn't explained or shown very well, in my opinion.
That is the problem with this fast-paced thing. You've got to keep up the tension and showing any extra seconds. But even when they're at the door, because he gets to the cockpit, he's trying to close it. There's so many can't even close it, and then one gets in and tries to kill Baby Yoda, which I thought was a bit, but I didn't feel sorry for him. I was like, I mean, you have this coming. So, you know what I mean? I didn't feel.
I like the one that's walking on his head. It's like, it's in my hair. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, but I was waiting for a face hugger moment. Honestly, I thought that'd be a fun reference. But the frog lady kills it, and I think I was assuming that meant that Baby Yoda would no longer eat its young because it saved him. Nope. This one later, but whatever. And he flamed.
It's a baby. It doesn't think rationally.
I know, but I had better hopes. And it does get the door closed. I'm thinking again, you're in this little room and the ship does not work. Oh wait, the ship works? What do you mean you can fly? What? I was not buying this.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with the engines firing up. I thought that was fine because that little drop shouldn't have really affected the engines too much. I know there was some wires and stuff exposed on the outside, but I thought more of the issue was how the hell are you going to get into space with the hull compromised? But all you have to do is get out of the area, really, and land somewhere else. But
I guess just because they implied this is damaged. Like, I wish he'd said easily at one point, the engines may work now. But it just feels like, well, because if the engines would work, wouldn't you leave straight away?
Yeah. Yeah.
And definitely, why would you wait till dark? Like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot about this that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
They're forcing themselves in this situation unnecessarily. And again, I was thinking, how are they going to escape? And then the big mama... I was visibly like, oh no! That was a good moment. That was a dark moment. I was like,
no, it actually shatters through the glass. You hear the and you see the things, and then the next shot you see the upper canopy with no broken glass, and the thing on the outside. It's like, what just happened? It's very unclear as to what happened here. Did it get broken? Did they shatter the glass? Because it sure sounds like it and looks like it.
Oh yeah.
And yet he didn't have to repair the glass
No,
to leave
he did.
later?
He did at the end. They made a point of showing him go.
They were welding stuff, but it wasn't the glass. It's not like there's plates over the glass.
Yeah, but there might be some fix. I mean, he obviously has some fix for the glass. I mean, it's a space. You know, he can fix everything. But I thought I saw them fixing the glass, especially. I thought I noted that.
Well, we'll get there when we get there. But
Yes.
so he tries to take off. The big one lands on him and crushes it down again.
And then I assume Baby Yoda would just do something here.
Yeah,
so
I did too.
This was the moment to make it be important to show, okay, it's progressing. And even people say, even if it's not force sensitive, just bring the roof down. It's not difficult. The force is about moving and controlling. You can move stuff that isn't not force resilient. It's fine.
Yeah, but then it gets blasted, and you actually hear the sound of an X-wing, it's a distinct sound.
Yeah.
And then he goes out, opens the door. All of a sudden, spiders are gone from the inside. Didn't quite buy that either. There's like one or two hanging around.
Yeah, it goes from 100 back to 0 real quick.
Yes.
As quick as it starts. I like the fact there are cobwebs on the inside, but yeah, there should have been like lots hidden. Like he could have had a stuff moment going poo poo poo.
Yeah.
And then he walks out, and the X-wings, and it's like, oh, that was easy, because they weren't even shooting with their big guns. According to this, they're shooting with their little guns.
Yeah, with their cockpit guns.
Which I assumed wouldn't be enough. Like, I assumed it'd be hovering in big guns.
Or you even landed with the big guns firing. Would have been fine.
Or like, yeah, but it was underwhelming, and it felt just too easy because Mandalorian didn't do anything. It's that classic. I mean, it's honestly worse than being saved. At least Saved by Yoda shows you something about the character. This is just saved by the guys who found you somehow. As we've already established, they can't just scan the area. So how do they possibly find him?
I don't have an issue with that because he just fired up the engines. So maybe they got a thermal reading.
Okay.
A thermal reading or an energy reading because he powered everything up.
Nope. Heat, I like heat. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
And maybe that's why he did. That's why he didn't try leaving earlier because he thought they'd still be around if he knows the X-wing pilots. So applying the energy to put the power to the engines could have been detected. So maybe that's why. So I would kind of buy that.
He had to be hyperspace ready, otherwise no point.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized this guy's actually on a green screen in this cockpit. He's not really on a cockpit. That's sad.
Yeah.
He's wrongly scaled. Damn it. I was like, oh, they built an X-wing part of a cockpit, but they didn't. It's just green screened. Darn it. That's annoying. Oh boy, that ship is broken.
But yeah, they ran the tabs on the Razor Crest and found out that he was the one that let the prisoner escape. But he also, the footage shows that he locked up 3 criminals in the ship as well, and he also tried to save the one guy. So there is an arrest warrant out for him. He's like, "Am I under arrest?" Well, normally you would be, but these are trying times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's the whole, how about you guys help me seal up this hull and let me get out of here? And he's like, well, how about you get a transponder so next time we don't shoot your ass out of the sky? And then they leave for him to die because his ship is compromised and he's not going to be able to get out of there. And I know they don't know that he's got a passenger that has babies or eggs and a baby as well on board. Because if they knew that, maybe they'd, help him. I thought it was a little bit bullshit that they left. Sure, they didn't arrest him, and that is helping him. But how is he going to get this thing fixed where he is? In all honesty.
Well, I mean, that's only half the question. Do you really think that was the entire spider population that you killed with 2 hand blasts? I mean, that's the bigger threat. Like, if there's now all these dead spiders sending off death pheromones, do you really think more predators aren't going to come and kill? Yeah, I thought it was... I mean, it made a semblance of sense in the sense of, we're not going to kill you or arrest you. That's help. Bye. But it could have done something like, here's a power converter or something. And I did quite like the, okay, the law says this, but the fact is you actually did a useful thing and we're in a grey time and you're a grey sort of officer. I liked that. And it would have been weird if they helped fix it. That would have been weird, but it could have been a simple thing of like, I could do with a torch and here's a torch. And it was just abrupt. I think it was also like these guys are filmed on green screen on a different day and they knew that. This is a legitimate celebrity guest star as far as like, he's not a no-name actor. Clearly on green screen though, or a bit of a cockpit.
They could have tossed him a thing and said, here's some programmable matter to fix your ship.
Yeah.
Some nanobots.
Mm-hmm. or just a power
No,
source.
just kidding.
You know,
Yeah.
but it does definitely feel douchey. But it's the same as he did in the first episode. Like, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna leave you here to possibly die. Good luck.
True.
It's like, if you can escape, you're a free man. If you can't, we did our job. We still took out a criminal. But it definitely does. It doesn't feel organic.
No.
Yeah.
And then we get the whole, we're going to have to get cozy in the cockpit. It's the only area I can pressurize. I'm going to fix the hull issues. So if you have to use the privy, do it now. Which I thought was funny. And I expected at the end where they're like limping away to hear the baby Yoda coo or something. And he'll be like, I told you to do that before we left.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious. But oh well.
Or
So then we see him fixing up the ship.
Or if he has, I have to go poo, and he does, and then the eggs, like, he didn't actually eat them. He just like suckled on them, kind of like in the first episode of Lower Decks. Like,
Yeah.
he's not eating. That would have been a nice like payoff. And in fact, they were like, you can say, oh, they're really warm to touch, or like they're all like, or they'd be gross if they're fertilized. Like Yoda fertilized them by being inside him. Ugh. But there could have been a payoff there for sure. But no.
Yeah, it would have been cool if he was keeping them warm, trying to help.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you got a baby helping a baby. That would have been kind of fun. And then poop would have been it would have been a joke, a step on a joke, as you said.
Yeah. Yeah, so he does some fixing up and repairs all done. Get ready to leave.
The creature falls off it in a really gross way, which I did quite like.
Yes. Yeah. I love how he bumps into shit going up too, because can't really see what's going on.
No.
So.
And boy, this thing is flying janky, which I did like. I liked how it was barely working. And they can't go hyperspace, so now they have to fly sublight and half broken sublight. So I'm sure it's half the speed. And then he instantly says, "I guess time to sleep again, because that went so well last time." Okay.
Yes.
And then Baby Yoda eats another one.
Let me know if anybody shoots at us or that door gets sucked off its rails. I'm kidding. If that happens, we'd all be dead. Sweet dreams.
Although you wouldn't, because you got armor. Just saying, Manda, you'd be fine. Your armor's designed to be...
You might be, yeah.
But and then Baby Yoda eats one, which definitely, I think, is a bad payoff to the joke. And then it limps away, looking... With the shuttle bay door open, though. But they've got a reason for it to be open. And then it just kind of ends without a satisfying thing.
Well, apparently this is the first three, and it's just supposed to be like a mini trilogy. So the next one ends with them, or starts with them arriving with the ship busted up, and apparently it's the one on the water, where he's in. I don't know. Anyway, apparently from what I heard, it's these first three are like a trilogy. So.
Okay. Sure.
This is kind of a.
I definitely liked last week better. I thought it had actually a story. Because it's kind of like a zombie episode or a zombie story. It's like when you fight nothing creatures that don't mean nothing, there's only so much you can relate to it. You know? At least a crate dragon was, has a certain scale to it. And obviously got sand people. But guys, if you could do the extra $50, we'd love to hear your review scores out of 10. In a $5 super chat, we'd love to have at least $5, make it 25. Help us out, And if you don't want to super chat, it's fine. Just put the scores in there. Let's see what people think. And I'm interested to see what our final scores are, because I haven't thought about it until this moment. But Stuart, do you think any different now with this discussion? I know throughout you saying, I didn't think about that, so maybe you think a little bit different. But what do you think now, having gone through it all?
Well, I mean, there's certain things I didn't really consider. But they don't take away from my enjoyment of it. It's Star Wars. It's not Star Trek. It's not meant to be as, it's an adventure swashbuckling story. So the little problems that I didn't think of that you mentioned don't really take away from it for me as far as entertainment value. That being said, it could have been like a 15-minute, 20-minute short. This one seemed very dragged out. Especially the whole spider thing was like a big chunk of this episode, the chase and the runaway, and it wasn't necessary in my opinion. It feels like definitely a side quest escort mission, and unless it pays off in the next episode or later in the season, it's not really that big a deal. It's one that I think could be easily forgotten. As again, it depends how it pays off in the rest of the season.
And there are so many in last season that are just one-offs, but if you have a really good one-off, it's fine. This one
Yes,
just
absolutely.
didn't hit those notes. It needed that, as I keep saying with Discovery, which it is doing, that like that extra something. It was missing. Like one thing it could have had to win is that as the Razor Crest was flying away, you should have cut and zoomed, and Slave One was slowly drifting along,
Mm.
and then Boba's sitting there and like presses boo boo. Boo. That's all you needed. The sting of, oh, he's following him. That would have made it, okay,
Mm.
there's Slave One, there's Boba Fett, we're going to continue that. That's all you needed. What do you think? Would that have upped it for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
But like I said, we don't know how this plays out. Once the rest of the season's done, or at least the next episode, if there's important beats in this one that pay off, I'll be like, I'll have a different view of it.
Yeah.
But as it sits right now, I think it could have been literally 20 minutes. Like this did not have to be a full episode. This could have been a part of an episode.
It could have started with him crashed and then escape and then start the episode. It would have been a great pre-title, like epic action,
Yeah.
we're escaping moment.
Yeah.
And then story.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as enjoyment factor goes, though, I really like that you don't really need to know what the hell is going on. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like it's like, okay, this is a self-contained little thing. Fine. It's great to watch that way. It's very episodic. So I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10, just for pure enjoyment. This is one I would watch again, just for there's little moments in it that are fun enough. So yeah, I thought it was all right. Even when Mandalorian's bad, it's good. That's the whole thing. Remember?
No, I agree. But the thing is, we've now got to judge it compared to other Mandalorian episodes.
I know.
I think this is, for me, the weakest one so far of all 10. So I'm struggling to think of one that is weaker. No, not bad.
I'd have to go back and watch season 1 again.
Because, like, not bad.
It's definitely the worst of season 2. That's
for sure. Yeah. But do you know what I mean, though? Like, I'm trying to think of one that's weaker in season 1, and I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't remember them all from season 1.
Neither do I. But like I say, it's not bad, but it's definitely it's a good ride. This would be a bad second watch, I think, because once you know where it's going, you're like, and we're now at the spiders, okay, now they're escaping. Like
I had to watch it a few times, as you know, and it's just your
brain turns off.
Yep, it's like it feels a lot shorter than it actually is.
It'd actually be kind of fun though to make it like a 15-minute supercut.
Yep.
Like how could you do that? But that's a Star Wars trope, isn't it? I mean, you don't really. At least I don't watch Star Wars films lots of times. Like, there are experiences you forget bits, then you re-watch them to re-experience them. But you don't watch Empire Strikes Back that's the best one. You don't watch Phantom Menace every month. I think it would get worse the more you watched it. Like they're not meant for that sort of viewing. So for me, I'll go straight to my score and I'll dial back. I think it's a 5 out of 10. It's fine for Mandalorian. It's got nothing particularly good in it, and that's the problem. And that's the thing about this scale. Like, it's fine. I wouldn't watch it again. Like, it's not fun to watch. But the X-Wings are fun. The CGI is beautiful. The Mandalorian I thought was weird, out of character for most of this one. Off kilter. Didn't have Boba connection. Should have. The start felt juxtaposition to the other bit. The fact they had a trench run and Hoth feeling didn't do it justice, because it felt like you had literally Tatooine desert and then Hoth didn't do well, didn't add to it, felt too
maybe the Mandalorian was suffering from heat exhaustion from walking that far, and that's why he was so tired, and that's why he wasn't quite himself. You never know.
Sure, no, I buy that, that's fine, but that's us adding stuff to it that isn't in the thing.
I know.
And I definitely think they put themselves in an unwinnable situation because they knew they were just going to have X-Wing save them. And it's like saying, let's have a Starfleet episode where we're against 14 Negvars, but it's fine. The E-Dreadnought shows up and defeats them. It's like, but you just invented the E-Dreadnought to win, so there's no tension here. Like, D does it all. What do you guys think? I'm looking at the numbers. Still need another $31 if we can. A few more 5s. Yeah. Do you want to read some Super Chat scores and I'll jump back and see what you guys think?
I will I will read
Although
some super chat scores if you want to put.
I'll say that I probably enjoyed it at 6.5. Like, it's still a good first ride, just for clarification. But for the Mandalorian scale, it was the worst one.
Oh, if we're gonna, I should probably to 5.5, for Mandalorian in total.
Okay.
But yeah, for entertainment wise, I did enjoy it still.
Yeah.
Because even when it's bad, it's good.
Yeah, just for clarity, guys, it's okay. It's just the worst one they've done, but it's not bad.
Yeah. I'm going to read the super chat scores that we have.
Yeah.
If you want to super chat another score, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, another $31 would be great to get.
Getting close.
Before we close out. But anyway, yes. So Scott Purdy throws in $2 or £2. Sorry, 6 out of 10 odds on a lightsaber fight this season. Pretty good.
I guess Ahsoka's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, side note: do you think this one is the one they said? Right, we're gonna have a massive episodes later on. We have to have at least 2 that are half the budget.
Yep, I absolutely believe that. Yes.
Okay.
And that being said, they still had an awesome flight sequence with the X-wings. Yeah. Like that was a great chase scene. So there's still good stuff here.
And the sets looked amazing. Yeah. I just was bored of them within a few. So yeah, I think that's probably what we're seeing here. It was in a sense a bottle show, but with just a self-created bottle.
Yeah. I'll read the last 2 super chats, and then I'll just want to give a little bit of a prediction for the future of this season. So, Fleet Pass Swiftback $5, 10 out of 10 for child being a greedy little feed bag. I'm glad you put feed bag because the first time I read that, I saw something else. And a 10 out of 10 for Trekyards. Thank you very much. Justin Mears, $5. Hello from Kansas. Keep up the great content. Well, thank you very much, Justin. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, so we got the dark saber, which we saw at the end of season 1. You know that if Ashoka's coming in, she's got the 2 lightsabers, both with white blades because they have purified Sith crystals. That I know for a fact.
Didn't get that far in Rebels, so okay. I thought she had blue, but okay, cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So it'd be cool if at the end, she actually tosses a lightsaber to Mando, and she has one, he has one. They're fighting the guy, or she tosses one to Mandalorian, and all of a sudden it stops and goes to Baby Yoda's hands, and it's like, and he jumps around like Yoda. And I think there's going to be a lightsaber fight for sure.
Although, yes, but can I just pitch something else, just as a little FU? It ends in a jungle, and Ahsoka's fighting the general, the governor, and then she throws a lightsaber to Mandalorian who's on the floor, and suddenly it stops, flies off, and it's Luke who grabs it in the air, and it's the same music from Force Awakens in the same forest. It goes blue, and it's like, I'm here finally. As Mark Hamill thought this was my place to enter the scene, I finally did it after 5 years, and then he joins the fight. It's like, oh my god, it's Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano, and Mandalorian Man, versus some guy we invented. Who cares? Because you can bring in the legacy people. They all are alive. I still think we should see Luke at some point. Mark would do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Mark would do it. Mark wants to do it. Give him something good to do, please.
And all you have to do is digital de-age him, or even deep fake will work at this point. But yeah.
Or say like he had to do some sort of force meditation thing to like build the temple, and that aged him like 10 years, 20 years. Well, no, sorry, 40 years. Which I and there you go, fine, done. Because he dye his hair, he looks much younger pretty quick. Anyway, hi.
Read some non-super chat scores.
Okie dokie. 8, 7.5, 6, 8, 8, 7, 8, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7.5, 7, 7.3, 8. 7.5, 7.5. So yeah, okay. Three quarters to higher. I think I just expect more from it. I think I'm always disappointed that they don't use Baby Yoda at all, in terms of progressing his story. They've given up on that. Like, it's such a slow burn. Like, you can tell they've got like a 4-season arc planned, but it's like a 1-sentence blurb. And so they have to like make it a backburn item every week, which is, it's good to see, but I always want something else, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. This I think is one of the cost cutting ones, the fillers to build up to something better.
Yeah, well, this one's definitely more filler than the Discovery one, which I think still does a plot. This doesn't move the plot on at all.
It does. It could though. That's the thing. We don't know what's going to happen next episode or later down the road. This could be very important.
Yeah.
We've already seen Filoni's character as X-Wing pilot twice. And I don't blame the guy. If I was doing this, I'd be putting myself in there too, because goddamn.
Yeah, he also had to get a new car that day, so double dip on the old paycheck. I'm going to hire myself. And now I get to have 2 paychecks this week. Excellent. And that's okay.
Yeah. If I was a filmmaker, I'd be putting myself in cameos all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But, well, exactly. So no, this was all right. The second one of season 2, and by far the worst one of season 2. So we need more. And I got to go back and rewatch season 1. I remember some of the main episodes, but there's got to be some other stuff there that's, because I don't remember all of the episodes. There's no way I remember all 8 episodes.
10.
You know?
Was there only 8?
I don't know.
I thought it was 10.
2, but why is this chapter 9 then?
No, you're right. There you go.
Why was this chapter 10?
No, you're right.
Right?
I forgot. So you got Mandalorian, the Child, the Sin, the Sanctuary, the Gunslinger, the Prisoner, the Reckoning, and the Redemption. If that helps you at all.
Well, it doesn't, because you cut out and I didn't hear any of that. I heard Redemption.
Okay, so you got the Mandalorian, where he finds the Child. You got the Child, where he fights the Jawas. You got the Sin, where he gives the guy back to the Imperial and kills everyone. You got Sanctuary, where he protects the raider, protects the village against the ATST and meets the lady. You got the Gunslinger, where he helps bounty hunter fight another bounty hunter on Tatooine, and then Boba Fett's not at the end, and then you got the Prisoner, where he goes to the ship and does the prisoner stuff. Then you got the Reckoning, where the guy from Rocky brings him in to do a thing and then double crosses him, sort of, and then ends with the Gideon coming in, and then 8 is where they just fight in the place for the entire episode, and all Mandalorians get killed and they just fight. There's not really much happens. So yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this one's on par with some of the more forgettable ones from season 1, but it's not worse than any of them, I don't think.
I just think they all had, because in all of those, they're fighting a understandable enemy with a motivation. In this, they're just fighting a creature. You know? Like, the creature is insert creature. It could be anything from anything, you know? It loses that depth that it just doesn't have. And obviously, I get the reference to other Star Wars now, but it still doesn't add too much to me. But guys, I guess we'll just go for the final super chat slot then. Final 5 or file 11 is up a different thing. Hey, Mark Lawrence, good. Thanks for the like, appreciate it. And hey, still a fun watch. Just not as fun as it could have been. But I think neither of us expected any sort of real Boba Fett. I think we both expected him to drop the ball on that and not progress that story. In our heart of hearts, we knew they weren't going to do anything.
That's either going to come back later, like he's going to come back and get his armor back, or what I expect to have happen is that near the end, where he gets the team together and he gets Vance Cobb back, and because of the circumstances, he allows Vance Cobb to wear the Boba Fett armor again because they need it for whatever reason. Even though he did take it, I really had the feeling in that first episode that he was going to say, "You've earned it because you're selfless. You're caring about the people of this town." He just seems like a good guy overall. but I think he's either Vance Cobb's going to be wearing the Boba Fett armor again, or Boba Fett's going to return and get it back somehow. Whether he's going to work with the Mandalorian or against, I'm not really sure. But I could see either one being a definite possibility. I can make a case for each one. It wouldn't be bad, in my opinion, seeing Boba Fett get his armor back and actually work with the Mandalorian and help him out for something at the end. That'd be great.
Especially if we assume that the child is the main storyline, which it's meant to be. That if, as we go further, maybe they have to, like, once they work out it's a clone Yoda and they have to go into, they decide we can't make another one, so they have to go and attack a rebel fortress. Well, who would you want at your back? Not like a rebel soldier, but I mean, talk about who would you buy being able to get into a massive massive Imperial stronghold? Mandalorian plus Boba Fett. Yeah, that is a good team.
Yeah.
And both cheap. You don't have the actors on set.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest of all the world. They just provide voiceover. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of miss that we don't do prediction show lives for these, but they don't give you what's coming next week, which I kind of like in a way. So it's a complete surprise. But I really do like kind of speculating on stuff and what could be,
because we get it right quite a bit recently. You see the hints.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's good. But this week, though, in Discovery, looking forward to that one. That is now only a couple of days away. For better and for worse. It means we've got to do all the work again for it, but that's okay.
What are we up to? Episode 4 of Discovery or 5? Wow. Okay. And there's 12
13.
episodes this season?
I think 13 again.
13. Oh.
Sorry,
cool.
8 more weeks till Christmas, basically.
That's all right then.
After that.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And do we know how many episodes of The Mandalorian there's going to be?
Same as last
10
year.
this season or 12?
I thought it was same as last year, so I said
Is
8,
it?
but let's have a look.
Oh.
So I thought there was 10, but you are right. The first one had 8, so I'm confused as to how many it's going to be. No, just a no. Oh, wait, what? That's not the right thing. Oh, okay. No, yeah, 8. 8 again. Oh, Carl Weathers.
8 episodes.
The chap from Rocky actually directed the 4th episode.
Wow, cool.
He's in it and directed. That's pretty cool. Wonder if he actually is going to appear in that one as well.
Probably. That would be my guess that he would be in it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is going to be over before Discovery's over. That's weird.
December 18th, yeah. Yes.
Wow. Cool.
The last episode.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying The Mandalorian so far. So, I mean, I don't know why we don't get more views on these lives. It's because we're Trekyards, I guess. I don't know. I assume we just don't do Star Wars. But I assume people are really loving The Mandalorian, and yet, I don't know.
Yes, Scott. Yes, it is. Although, Stuart, to my surprise, and we did actually check this out, but I'm surprised it might have changed. So, Discovery, episode 10 comes out December 17th. 11 comes out Christmas Day. 12 comes out New Year's Day. And then the last episode is the 7th of January 2021.
Oh.
So, shit.
That's not going to work
That
so well.
Sucks. That's going to suck. Because we looked at this and it was like it finishes the week before, but I guess that was a Mandalorian. That's confusing to me.
So Christmas Day is a Friday, though. It's not a Thursday.
Well, they come on Thursday, don't they?
Yeah, for Christmas Eve.
So December 24th.
We might have to save the last 3 episodes and do them after.
Well, I'm sure we'll do the episode 11 in between. I'm sure we can find one day between the 24th and 31st. I'm sure, but it just won't be the Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll have to be the 28th, actually, the Monday. Mandalorian Monday will become Discovery Monday.
Which is fine, because Mandalorian is finished.
Yes.
So
yeah, it'll just be offset by a day or two. That's all.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't know when my first reaction will be, though. That's interesting. It'll be a messed up end of the season schedule.
But we get to start the new year with Discovery. If that is on the track that it's going now, if that episode called Outside, which is an interesting name, if that ends in an epic way, that'd be a good start to the year. And then we get to do the Drunk retrospective right at the end of at the start of next year. So whoop. Gosh.
Ooh.
Although this is Jericho makes a good point. Yeah, no, people can't travel as much, so I think although I'm sure people will still break that, but you know, Christmas, no one's gonna travel as much as we could have.
Well, we got obviously I have Christmas. I have Sylvia's birthday on the 31st of December. Cassie's birthday on the 4th of January. Like that's a busy time of year for us. But we'll figure it out, guys. Don't worry.
We just may have to start filming earlier. Like,
yeah.
Stuart, wake up at 9. Be done before everyone even gets out of bed.
Tenchi 2K7 $2.
Thank you.
Mass Effect Legendary Editor
Edition.
Remaster next year. Oh,
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I saw that. It's all 3 games, all the DLC remastered, but not just like updated. They're actually going back and making the first 2 games more like the 3rd game to modernize it all, so you can, because they did change them as they went.
I will get that. I will play those.
No, that's one of the things that we should absolutely play together. Literally, hey, I will fly over there and we'll play it together. Or you fly here because I've got a better PC than you have a PS4. I can push the graphics high, but I will definitely play that because that is a tremendous game series. Especially if they actually improve it beyond where it was. Like if they actually make it better and more. Unlike TNG, it's like let's actually make it better than it was, rather than just let's just make it faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fleet Paw Swiftback $2. Nothing wrong with starting the year off drunk, right?
It will be.
Yeah.
That is the way this year. See, Stuart, you know how dedicated we are to you guys? That's I mean, come on. How many YouTubers? We're dedicated. Oh, you know what we should do, though? We should do, like, pre-recorded reactions.
I'm afraid to ask.
We should do pre-recorded reviews of all the episodes. Just lie. Just blatantly, like, just make everything up.
Just be like, I liked this part. This part was unsatisfactory. And you can edit it together.
Oh, no, I mean, no, we should do an improv session. Like, completely lie.
Oh,
release them anyway, and just like pre-recorded. And just
it was really great when Kurt came back and did this. I did not expect that. Like, well, damn.
And because we'll film all 3 at the same time, we basically diverge instantly from their plot into our own plot. So we make an epic end of season and all pre-recorded. So you won't see real reviews, you'll see our fake reviews that we pre-recorded at the end of the month.
That's good.
Oh, that would be so hard though. And how do I get images for that? Fucking hell. And then Captain Foley appears. You never told me, Stuart, you're in Discovery Season 4, 3. What? You're the big baddie of Season 3? What? Stuart. And you said I hid Rick Sternbach's design from you. You held that from me, because the sets are just near you. You know, you drove in after our live every Friday. You came from reviewing Picard, and you probably drove into Discovery Lot. You bitch. You didn't tell me.
Nope. Jarzia, $5. Can't wait for the Mass Effect remasters. Mass Effect 2 is my fave game of all time.
There's a lot of good stuff in Mass Effect 2. Yeah, I think Mass Effect 1 is great. I think people undervalue the story. It just controls us well. But if you remember it for what it was at the time, rather than how it compares to it now, because that's what it's designed to be in its own time. You know, its story is the main thing. I think it, does well. But thanks, Jarzy. I think you're the last super chat. I mean, we still need 20, but I think that's okay. Stuart, still a good time had by us to chat about this stuff.
Hopefully next week there's more meat and more people show up, because I want something epic to happen.
Yes.
And not just be the last episode that it happens in. I want it to be like the last 5 episodes of the season. Like, let's have something really good going on, you know?
Because you've got to imagine they did give him more money this year. Like, let's see that, you know? But that's okay. We will get there. How can we not have faith in this team? They've proven themselves time after time, so I'm all for it. And if there's a saving money one for a big one later on, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and even when they take the day off and make this episode, they still do a great job.
Yep. Even they insist on only 5 members of the crew. Yeah. Oh, this is a 1-day shoot. Huh. We've got to improv it. Huh. Wow, that turned out good. We'll just fight spiders. What sort of spiders? Oh, from the Rebels episode I made 5 years ago. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, for a live. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow, but
talk about it later.
And then Wednesday's a prediction for Discovery.
That'd
you know the
one.
routine, guys, by now. Yeah.
2 more Discovery sub videos coming out this week. Both good discussions. One is one of Stuart's great little theories. He sold me on as it was going on. You'll see. Another one I can't remember. Oh, it's Trill, but it's a good Trill. It's a good little debate. So tune in for those. Keep watching and yeah.
Until then, he's Commander Cockings.
He's Cattle Foley. Bye, guys.